Comcast Spotlight's clients range from SMBs, small, medium businesses that leverage us at a zone level, to regional buyers who buy us at a DMA level, to really sophisticated national buyers who buy us full footprint, is what we call it, national. One of the most interesting changes that we've seen has been the adoption by the regional and local buyers of the audience-focused methodology. So the kind of dialogue we're having with them now goes in the following way. First step is to identify who your customer is. Our clients are vividly conscious of how fragmented and competitive the current media environment is. They're vividly conscious of, even though they don't have the numbers like we do, that in 2015, homes were watching 9 hours of television a day, 9.5 hours of media a day. And today they're taking in almost 11 hours of media a day. So the ability to cut through to audiences is harder than ever. So they adopt the audience-based approach, and they really want to focus on the customers. Who am I going to bring in the door for my business? And I can define that in a number of different ways. If you're an insurance company targeting military families, it belongs to the military or a military background. If you're an auto dealer, your target owns an SUV, and you could even get it down to as granular as own an SUV that's 4 or 5 years old, so you're likely to be buying. So our first step with the clients is to size that market. In Atlanta, there are 100,000 homes that have an SUV in the driveway that's 4 to 5 years old. And so to a buyer, they're saying to themselves, this is my total opportunity for selling in Atlanta. And then we create a program for them in the way I was describing before. We're indexing those SUV owners, and we're looking for reach against those SUV owners. We're creating a campaign designed to reach them. And then in the back end of the campaign, we are doing measurement against what was their real reach to those SUV owners. How many of them did they reach? And when we go through that process with clients, and we go through it 60, 70, 80 times, as we have with this program we're calling Audience Intelligence, we're really finding best practices emerge. The first is just to trust the data. For the clients, it can be a novelty to move from an age, gender-based buying approach to an audience-based buying approach. Who is your customer? Let's look at our data dictionary and understand who we can really reach for you. The second lesson we've learned is anytime, anywhere, which is the principle that the client really needs to trust the data to determine where they're going to show their ads. It's not just about prime time, and it's not just about news and sports. We are doing a significant amount of myth busting with the clients to show them that you're afraid of time shifting, you're afraid of DVR and time skipping in the TV experience. Well, if you take live viewing and DVR viewing together, live viewing is 95% of the viewing time. So you don't have to be just on news and sports in order to get a live experience. Often the clients want to just be in the top 5 cable networks because they assume that's where the reach is. We're able to show them that 87% of the viewing is happening off of the top 5 cable nets. So there's plenty of room to grow, plenty of room to chase your audience. And that's really the key, because if you're going after an audience, you have to find them wherever they are. So the client has to pursue a campaign that's sort of not intuitive sometimes. One of my favorite examples of that is we were working with some political advertisers in one of our markets, and we saw that HGTV for Republican primary voters was indexed at 133. It was you're 33% more likely than average to find a Republican primary voter on HGTV. They're watching plenty of Fox, and everybody knows that, but HGTV was a surprise. But only 2% of the political advertising in that market was being spent on HDTV. So just not enough people were going anytime, anywhere. Not enough people were trusting the data, and it presented an opportunity to our clients. And the third lesson learned we've seen through the audience intelligence program is about running long. We see that if a client goes 10 weeks or more, they'll see a 400% lift in reach by the end of the campaign versus what they were able to achieve in the first week. The hockey stick happens well. And the fourth lesson learned is really almost a philosophy, I think, now for television advertisers, there should be, and that's around optimization. Clients who use the data, who look at the post-campaign metrics report, and who take a continuous improvement approach, we've seen increase their reach from the first campaign to the last campaign by 10%, which is mammoth, which is, in this hypothetical example, 10,000 more SUV owners who could be buying cars from you. And we've seen them be able to reach those audiences more efficiently. From the campaign where they started and the campaign end, we've seen their eCPM to those SUV owners go down by 35%. So they're reaching more customers more efficiently, which is exactly what all of us are after.
So, and finally, Justin, I wanted to ask you about inventory. There's so many cable channels, but the times are sort of limited. Is that fair to say, to 2 minutes per hour? Or tell us about the inventory availability and how you see sort of the growth of this local market or regional market advertising opportunity over the next, several months.
The inventory available to a local advertiser is wide. They have 40, 50, 60 networks in almost all of our markets that they have accessible to them now in live television. We also believe that especially in this fragmented media environment, it's incumbent upon the media partner to make it simple for the client. So we're also adding premium video inventory in digital and other formats for them. Through Comcast Freewheel, we're accessing premium video inventory in what folks would call TV everywhere. Our apps, the Xfinity app that shows premium video, and TV network apps. And those TV network apps are on mobile devices, they're on desktop, they're on over-the-top devices. So the scale and the richness of the inventory available to local advertisers today is better than it ever was. Where I'd like to see it going, maybe not over the next few months, but over the next few years, is to have a consistent set of audience planning and targeting capabilities and a consistent set of audience reporting capabilities across all of those platforms. And I think that would really be a key to quality at scale with the audience component thrown in.